morning. Thank you for being with us. I'm Bob Rorlach with the Greater Tampa Chamber of Commerce. I want to thank you and welcome our viewers for joining and tuning in with us for our 2018 Candidate Interview Series. At the Chamber, our mission is to serve our members and enhance our community by building business success. We think our key partners in building this success is working with our elected officials, and that is why we believe it is important to engage the candidates to get a sense of where they stand on important business issues. And that's why we were excited to have Victor Crist, who is running for County Commission in District 5 at large for Hillsborough County. Thank you for joining us today. We appreciate you being here.
Thank you for inviting me to participate, and I appreciate the opportunity.
Sure. We're going to dive into questions shortly, but we wanted to give you an opportunity to briefly introduce yourself. And if you could, in 30 seconds or less, tell us why you are running for office.
I'm Victor Crist. I've had the opportunity and the pleasure to serve you in many capacities over the last 26 years. I served 6 years in the Florida House of Representatives, 8 years in the Florida House of Representatives, 10 years in the Florida Senate, and now I'm finishing my last term in District 2 of the County Commission, where I've served you for nearly 8 years as a county commissioner. My occupation and my vocation is advertising. I've run a successful advertising business for over 36 years. I am still president of that small business today and still receive an income from that business today. I enjoy being part of the public policy process. I enjoy being in the middle of the debate on contemporary ideas, and I enjoy working to find common ground for everyday solutions to improving our quality of life. These are difficult times with significant challenges on the table. We need seasoned, intelligent individuals with proven track records of getting the job done in place in order to move forward assertively. I have that proven track record. I have that proven ability. I have that working knowledge, and I have been doing a very good job on behalf of the people that I serve in Hillsborough County. And I would like the opportunity to continue serving you as a capacity of a county commissioner.
Terrific. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Okay, now let's get into the questions. The business community is desperate for a plan to address transportation in Tampa Bay and Hillsborough County. However, the will from elected officials has not been where we need it to be. Currently, there is a proposed plan from the Regional Transit Feasibility Study that identified bus rapid transit as the catalyst project and one option, not the only option, to help move the needle. Specifically, do you support bus rapid transit and that concept, and as it has been proposed? If yes, why? If not, what alternative plans would you have, and how would you fund it?
Yes, I support bus rapid transit. Yes, I support the plan that is on the table and more. We need to start now rather than later in moving forward with being able to move people in large groups. Mass transit is what we need to be moving towards. We need to look at affordable options that we can get going now, not later. The BRT is the spine that we need so that we can begin connecting to it with bus service, cab service, Uber, Lyft, ride-sharing services, and any other new technologies that may come forward in the near future. We mustn't stop there. We must also be looking at how we can integrate into the future, other options of mass transit, and we need to be putting land and right-of-way together now rather than later so that we can move in that direction when the time comes.
Good, thank you. Sticking with transportation, as we are filming these interviews, there's a grassroots effort to secure enough signatures to get a referendum on the ballot for a sales tax increase to fund transportation and transit in Hillsborough County. Do you support a 1-cent sales tax to fund mass transit and road projects? If yes, why? If not, why not? And how would you suggest we pay for the many transportation needs we have?
This is a very new initiative that came on just last week. I've not had a chance to thoroughly get into it and understand all of the components of this initiative. At this juncture, I'm impressed that a community initiative has stepped up to the plate, and that it's becoming a forefront issue of this year's election cycle. I'm also impressed that the County Commission has chosen to allow the public the opportunity to dialogue and to work this issue. How I will vote on it is to be determined as we move forward, and I learned more about the components of it.
Okay, very good. Next question. Hillsborough County Public Schools have made great strides in recent years to erase their deficit and rank one of the top large school districts in the county. Increased graduation rates specifically for minority students. And it's critical for the business community that our school system is producing talent for tomorrow. But funding remains a challenge. How would you work with the school board and the superintendent to make sure our schools have the resources needed to handle growth in Hillsborough County?
I will continue to work with them as I have worked with them for the last 26 years. I've brought more money home than anyone else that I know in this market as a state legislator for our schools. In fact, I worked single-handedly with them to spearhead the development and the establishment of what is being ranked right now as the #1 magnet trade school in the state, and that's Bowers Whitley, that is built on my University Area Community Center complex up off of 22nd Street in the University Area community. That school is a unique school where they've taken children that have, for whatever reasons, dropped out or been kicked out of school, brought them back, worked with them to get their GEDs, but along the way, also graduating them with certificates of accomplishment and completion in technical training, whether it be auto body or mechanics, whether it be dental hygienists, whether it be nursing home technicians, mental health assistants, or the visual and performing arts. The school is graduating children with certificates and opportunities to earn meaningful wages.
Okay, good. Our next question, let's shift to the hot topic in our community, baseball. A ballpark in the urban core has the potential to be a commerce driver, much like the Tampa Bay Lightning and Amalie Arena has been. Do you support the Ybor site for the Rays that has been identified? And if elected, what is your vision for financing a ballpark in Ybor?
I think it's very important that we do everything humanly possible to keep the team in the Tampa Bay market. And up until now, we've seen very little movement, if any, on the Pinellas side or interest to try to keep the team there. So we've stepped up to the plate here, thanks to a public-private partnership and one of my colleagues on the County Commission to move forward with a plan that aggressively puts forward the opportunity of building a stadium in our historic district, which would go a long way in helping to draw more interest in the downtown market and in our historic area market. I think it's incredibly important that the business communities, the small business communities throughout our county, all the local chambers work together to try to help bring this to fruition.
Okay, very good. And as we wrap up, we want to prioritize your goals if elected. The funding pie is only so big, and it's difficult to fund everything. Plus, the potential increase in the homestead exemption, if passed, could have a big impact on local government spending. We've mentioned 3 areas where funding is needed: transportation, school system, and the Rays ballpark. Can you prioritize the order in which you would fund them, or other priorities you have that we didn't discuss?
When I was in the state Senate for 10 years, I chaired the justice budget. During that period of time, I had to cut that budget by billions of dollars. That was a difficult task, but I learned firsthand that it can be done without cutting quality of service. The one thing we don't do here at the county level that I have been an advocate for doing is going to the zero-based budgeting process, where we start over each year at the bottom and we rebuild our budget up. We don't do that. Unfortunately, the way that we build our budget here is we take last year's budgeted budget and we either add or subtract to it. And what is visually put out publicly is just those changes. No one really sees the inside of the bottom line of what our true facts and figures are. And I don't think that that's transparent. I don't think that that's efficient. And I think that we're missing opportunities of finding dollars within our own budgets to be able to do more with less.
Very good. And where can people go to learn more information on your positions?
We will have a new website up and running here shortly. It will be www.votevictor, V-I-C-T-O-R, Crist, C-R-I-S-T.com.
Very good. That concludes our candidate interviews. On behalf of the 1,400 members of the Greater Tampa Chamber of Commerce and our board of directors, we want to thank you for joining us today. Thank you for your willingness to be a candidate and run for office and serve our community. And thank you all for viewing this video.
Thank you, Bob, for the opportunity.